Breaking news into our newsroom this afternoon. NFL legend Deion Sanders announcing he's battling bladder cancer. Sanders, who now coaches the University of Colorado Buffaloes, shared the emotional news alongside his doctor, who now says that he's cured. Take a listen.
I'm always positive, man. I would get upset when my body don't allow me to do the things that I want to do, and she can attest to that. I mean, you got to understand, I'm out in the morning at 7 a.m. Lauren, let's go, baby. Let's hit this wall. I always knew I was going to coach again. I didn't realize I was going to coach again. I was always going to coach.
Coach in his trademark hat and overalls there. It's unclear exactly when Sanders was diagnosed with cancer, but the football giant says the illness was detected during a yearly scan for other health issues. He's certainly had some complications in the recent past, but doctors opted to remove his bladder and create a new one. And they say that Coach Prime says he still plans to coach his team this fall. So for more on this, I want to bring in ABC's Alex Stone and Dr. Bradley McGregor, the oncologist at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. And Alex, I want to start with you. What do we know about Coach Prime's battle with cancer so far?
Yeah, and as you mentioned, that this was during an annual exam when he says that it was found, and with his doctor right next to him saying that he is now cured and that he can move on. But he said this is going to be tough, that he has to urinate constantly, that he said there will be a porta potty on the sidelines, and said that that's not a joke, that there will be a porta potty everywhere he goes, including on the sidelines at football games, but that he's ready to move forward. But Alex, he said this is now a story about going to an annual exam, getting checked out, really to American men. He was saying that if you think something isn't right, not to ignore it, to just get it checked out, because in this case, he went to that annual exam for other issues that he has. And in the process of that his primary care doctor said something's not right. And they began to check, and then they found out that he had this aggressive form of cancer. But he had the bladder removed. They have put in another bladder, and they say that he's doing quite well and he's ready for the football season.
Well, and Doctor, we hear so much talk about the importance of these check-ins, but I'm curious, when Sanders refers to creating a new bladder, I mean, what does that mean?
Yeah, so I mean, this is something that's pretty exciting. I mean, there was actually some reports recently about how they did actually bladder transplants, but the standard of care now for someone who has the bladder removed is either to, use the intestines to create a diversion where the urine comes out through a bag, or in some cases like this, what they do is they take a piece of the intestine and they sort of transform it into a sphere, and they connect the kidneys, the drainage into that, and they connect that piece of intestine to the urethra so you can actually urinate out. So you basically have to train this small piece of intestine to become a bladder over time. And as you heard, that doesn't happen overnight. And so this involves a lot of training over time, where as it initially is done, you're urinating every couple of hours and really trying to get the piece of intestine that they've transformed that bladder to start acting as a bladder.
Well, and Dr. McGregor, I'm curious, I mean, are there some warning signs for folks that could signal bladder cancer? I mean, what should people be looking for?
Yeah, so I think that ultimately this is often found in this presence of blood in the urine. Now, that may be where you go to the bathroom and you notice your urine is red, or it may be a situation where you go for your annual visit and they do a urine sample and they say, hey, there's microscopic amounts of blood. So it's really important when you have blood in the urine to rule out that there isn't something serious going on. And that usually involves consultation with a urologist and imaging to sort of look either at the bladder through a CT scan and or directly with a camera to look inside the bladder to see if there's anything abnormal.
All right, Alex Stone and Dr. Bradley McGregor, thank you both.